demonstrate. In my mind, it's like, why decide in inferior state? Last I checked, death occurs every day, ain't it? Yo, what's up? Tapping in one more again on the soapbox. So here it is. And like and subscribe. Cause I feel as though you should like whatever you subscribe to. So if you like, subscribe too. Yo, but check it out. I was thinking about processes the other day. Even today. You know what I'm saying? Going on about my day, moving how I move, shaking how I shake it. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about processes, man, and I would just, what do you believe it takes to keep a process moving, like to keep it going, you know? What do you think it takes to maintain a process? Whatever process, whatever it is that has you mobile towards something, moving forward. You know what I'm saying? What do you think it takes to keep that going, keep that momentum? Because I was thinking about that, you know? Because on whatever process you find yourself, there are going to be things, whether natural or, you know what I'm saying, contrived, that will attempt to destroy the process. You know what I'm saying? To disrupt or halt the process, you know? And when I say process, I mean in terms of anything that is in the name of advancement, like elevation, um, success, whatever your definition of success is, you know? To me, a process is moving toward that. Actual steps being taken, you know? Not just the idea of what you want to accomplish or what you want to achieve, but things you're actually doing to move toward that. So when something natural comes against the process, like circumstance, things you can't control, or something that is contrived that comes against that process, people who conspire to see you fail or just are naturally opposed to what you seek to achieve, what does it take to keep it going? Whatever you say, let me know. We could talk about it. Comment down below. In my mind, I'm gonna share with you, if I may, you know what I'm saying, if you have the time, what I feel it takes to keep a process going. And in the name of self-preservation in the literal sense, like preserving self, maintaining self, the first thing is mental stability. You know what I'm saying? Mental fortitude, the strength of mind, the presence of mind, to know what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? To know what it takes and all that's going to come with you and your investment in this process, whatever process, you know, whatever your process is. You know, we're not going to even talk about whether that's the right way to go about achieving your means or achieving the end goal. You know, let's set that to the side for a second. But considering or believing that the way or the route that you choose, you know what I'm saying, your belief in that being the right route, what is it going to take to keep that moving? Mental fortitude, the strength of mind. That's why it's important to be particular in what you allow to saturate your mentality, what you allow into your mind, you know, what you dawn on to think about, what you spend time contemplating, you know? Is it worth thinking about those things or being mentally consumed with those things? Is that going to benefit the process? And when it comes to people that seek to throw you off course, when it comes to those individuals, it'll be in your best interest also to fortify your mind. Because it was said by a very wise soul, you know, God bless the dead, Carter G. Woodson. He said, if you control a man's mind or a woman's mind, you don't have to worry about the actions. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about the actions because the mind is under control from an outside entity. somebody else controls it. If you don't control what's yours or you don't maintain what's yours, it'll be left up to somebody else to do what you're supposed to be doing. They're going to just fill the role naturally, you know? And who's to say whether they have your best interest at heart? So why would you allow that to be a alternative when you can just, you know what I'm saying, strengthen yours, maintain yours? How can you do that? Surrounding yourself with positive people, keeping positive vibrations in your vicinity, you know what I'm saying, around you, in your presence, positive reinforcements, you know? And positive reinforcements in the vein of self-improvement, for the sake of self-improvement. Because sometimes positive reinforcements can actually be a setback if you have a bunch of yes, yup people around you that's just telling you what you want to hear because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Those kind of positive reinforcements are a setback. It enables you from the process that you need to partake in to get to where you're trying to get to. So observe when you think about positive reinforcements, you know what I'm saying? Be critical with yourself and be honest with yourself when you look in the mirror and be like, I know what I need to do. This person's saying, you know what I'm saying, what I'm on right now, which I know within myself ain't what I need to be on, is right. You know what I'm saying? That's positive reinforcement. But if you're honest with yourself and you know, yeah, I can't even carry myself like that, you got to reevaluate that person's position within the process. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, okay, I might not need to, at least when it comes to advice, in that instance. If you recognize that's a yes person, yup person, you might not need to go to them for advice. You know what I'm saying? As far as searching for understanding to build upon your understanding that's going to help you get to your spot, to where you're trying to go, you know, the process. They might have a different role within that process. You don't got to cut them off, especially among the tribe. Let's not be so quick to cut each other off, you know? There's different roles. Everybody has a position to play. And personally, you know what I'm saying? If you recognize and solidify and consolidate within your mind what the process is, what goal you set for yourself, you decide what role people play within that process. You decide, you know? And that's not to say that there cannot be a collective of people, 1 million people with the same goal, you know? But everybody's process within that, attaining that goal as a collective, is going to be different because the roles are different. Each role entails a different process. So when there are natural things that come against, or natural forces, or whatever, however you want to say it, not trying to sound like no like mysterious mystique kind of thing, but I'm just saying like the natural way of the world, you know, circumstances that are outside of your control, you know, things that naturally hinder you from continuing, whether it's that kind of situation or it's people working to thwart what you're trying to build or the process that you're partaking in, you know. Presence of mind is important. Fortitude of mind is important. Keep positive, you know what I'm saying, energy around you. Also, you know what I'm saying, trust your observation. That's also a way to strengthen your mind. When you observe, you know what I'm saying, observe for the purpose of understanding, to get to the bottom of, or overstanding, however you want to cut it. You know what I'm saying? Form some kind of reasoning. Not like everything should be analyzed, but I'm talking about as it pertains to the process for the sake of you getting to your goal. When it comes to that, within those parameters, you know what I'm saying? Trust your observation in the name of understanding, you know, and do what's necessary to apply what you do observe and what you do understand for the greater goal, you know what I'm saying? For what you're setting out to do. That can apply to you individually. And then if you find people of like mind, that applies to the greater goal of the greater good. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Observation is key. That also goes to that presence of mind. I feel like that's one thing that'll help a process continue moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is perseverance, bro. And everything I'm saying is things that are like vague. It's like common sense. But I just want to break this down because it crossed my mind that life is a process, man. Life itself is a process, you know? And within the greater process, you know what I'm saying, the big process, there are sub cultures within that big, great culture of process, you know what I'm saying, or life. Life is like like the overall culture, then there's subcultures. Those are the processes individuals carry on or take on or partake in for the goal that they have set individually or what they identify with or as, you know what I'm saying? Understanding what they identify as or who they are, you know what I'm saying? That's how they set their process in motion and go toward what they're trying to go toward within the greater process, you know, which is life. So that being said, perseverance is key because when it comes to um, remaining consistent, continuing no matter what, that takes not only heart, you know what I'm saying, but then that directly ties back into that strength, you know, presence of mind, mental fortitude, because it takes a strong person mentally, you know what I'm saying, spiritually too, sometimes physically, but more so than not, mentally, you know what I'm saying? It takes a strong person mentally to persevere. Because if you're thinking about things logically with your eyes open and you're not just going into situations blind, you're analyzing the scenarios, the possibilities, you know, and then when one possibility that you considered occurs, you know what it might entail, what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? What the outcomes and results could potentially be. And in times where the results can be bad, it takes that's mental fortitude to have the willingness to persevere no matter what the result. Because everything's not gonna go your way. Everything's not gonna go my way. You know what I'm saying? It applies to everybody. How you see it happening, how you see things occurring, just because you see it like that doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna occur that way. So, that being said, that's where that perseverance should kick in. You know? That's where that willingness to, no matter what, remain consistent, remain you. Because times are going to change. You don't got to worry about change because time's going to do that. As long as you remain the same, it's all good. You're going to accomplish what you set out to accomplish. Because whatever don't kill you, you know what I'm saying, is an opportunity to grow from. Something that was meant to destroy you, you know what I'm saying, to stop you in your tracks. If you survive it and you're breathing another day beyond that point, beyond that moment, that's an opportunity to grow from that, to build on that, you know what I'm saying, to build from that. If you have the mental fortitude to persevere. But if it hits you hard enough to where you feel like, forget it, I'm through, man, that's it, I can't do, you know what I'm saying, you can't honestly say, in my opinion, and if you feel a different way, go ahead and say, feel free. Let me know down below. Comment, subscribe if you like what I'm saying. If you don't like what I'm saying, that's cool too. I ain't gonna trip about it. I'm not gonna be mad at you. That's cool. I'm open to feedback. Let me know. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. But if you stop in your tracks in that moment, to me personally, I feel like you don't have the strength of mind, the presence of mind, you know what I'm saying, to be willing to persevere. spirit is a whole. To me, you're spiritually having the strength to produce action, you know what I'm saying, in certain circumstances, to stand up in the face of uh, adversities and things like that. To me, spiritually, where that kicks in is surviving despite, you know what I'm saying, attempts to kill the drive or the energy, because that drive is going to be applied somewhere. Even when you feel defeated, you know what I'm saying, your spirit is contributing to your defeat or willingness to accept defeat. That's your spirit. That's the spiritual energy, you know? Because this is how strong I believe within what you have inside you. This is how powerful I believe it is for every person. You know what I'm saying? Every person's core. You know what I'm saying? Their essence, their spirit. If you, whatever your mind sets within itself to accept as true, your spirit is gonna fall in line with that, and you're gonna carry yourself according to that, and that's how you set your standards of morals. You know what I'm saying? As far as good, right, wrong, because even people that do dirt, if you ask them, they'll have a good reason as to why they did the dirt. They'll have an explanation as to why they did what they did. There's a reason behind it. Even in times where people are going to war, like it's two people, uh, for lack of a better term, catching bodies, like killing each other and stuff like that. Even in the bloodshed and the murder, which people would be like, that's so, that's such an atrocity. People killing each other and all this. Once you leave here, you can't come back and all that. That's the height of, you know what I'm saying, conflict, right? Is murder. Even if you ask the person that murdered the other person, they will have a reason, except the police. They're not gonna have a reason for the police if they not, you know, if they ain't turned state or nothing like that. Like if they didn't, you know what I'm saying, become an informant or whatever. I'm talking about if you happen to know this person personally and you're talking to this person, you know what I'm saying? They'll have a good reason as to why they did what they did. You see what I'm saying? It might be irrational to you. Within your spirit, you'll be like, I would never do that because I believe the right thing to do is da 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 da. Your belief, your spirit is backing that mental understanding, you know what I'm saying, that you have within you. Your spirit's gonna back that. You see? Whereas the brother that did what he did, or the sister that did what she did, could have been the heat of the moment, passion, spirit. That spirit came up in her to murder that person, and she'll be able to explain why she did that. It's rational to her. Whereas, according to your standard, again, the moral compass you set for yourself spiritually, you'll be like, I would never do that. Different strokes for different folks. You already know. You know what I'm saying? What works for one doesn't work for the next one. And it's all good. It's all good. Because we all have one life to live. And nobody could be the judge of your actions. You know what I'm saying? As far as whether you deserve reward or punishment, whether you're good or evil, whether you're right or wrong, because nobody has it all figured out. And if you had it all figured out, you would be able to avoid every hardship. You know why? If you had it all figured out, you would know when to exit situations. You would know when to build on something or let it go. You'll know when to do everything. You know what I'm saying? That's because you got it all figured out. And nobody does, because that's impossible for any human being to be able to predict the future as far as what's going to occur, how the universe is going to react to your actions. It's impossible for you to know that. You know what I'm saying? You would be able to intuitively expect certain things to occur. And you can even express those things, you know? And you might be right on the money. But to know for certain and have it figured out as a human being, no. So that being said, one life to live, life is a process, you know, to keep it moving. Mental fortitude necessary. The willingness to persevere necessary. You know what I'm saying? And the last element or one of the another element that I believe is important, bro, to keep a process moving forward? What do you think? Take a guess at what it is, you know? Let me know down below. And tell me if you agree. You might disagree. You might have 3 other things that's necessary for a process to continue. You know what I'm saying? Say that. Who am I to judge, you know? I'm just sharing my perspective. And that's all this is me sharing my perspective, you know? So feel free to disagree. It's still gonna be all love, you know? We could talk about it. But besides fortitude of mind, the mental fortitude, the willingness to persevere, you know what I'm saying? The last thing I feel like is necessary for a process to continue moving forward, to be honest, bro, you gotta be built, you know what I'm saying, to survive, bro. Only the strong survive, because sometimes, even if you have the perseverance to continue going forward, if you get hit hard enough by a hardship that's hard to come back from, you know what I'm saying, that's probably a step away from death, because death is the hardship that you could never come back from. But I'm talking about the one right before that. If you get hit with something like that, if you are unable to survive, like if you're not built to last, if you're not built to withstand in your defensive position, you know what I'm saying? The hit, you won't have the strength to persevere, bro, even if you have the willingness to do so. Because you're not built to survive, you're not built to last. How can you be built to last? How can you build yourself to be able to withstand a blow such as that you can't come back from? Physical, make sure you feeding yourself proper. You know what I'm saying? You hydrating yourself. Yeah, you staying active. Stay moving. You know what I'm saying? Do some kind of exercise throughout the day. There's different ways to exercise, you know? And I'll let you use your imagination on different methods you can employ to stay active, you know? But just stay active. Keep your body involved in the physical realm, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Not to be that kind of guy. I don't really be on that kind of, you know what I'm saying, jibber jabber that people be on when it comes to that. But I do believe there's a physical realm and a spiritual realm. In the literal sense, we all have something within us that could recognize negative energy, you know? How can you explain that? How can you explain that? That's my explanation. You tell me what you saying, you know? But that's what I say. And then those 3 things considered, bro, if you have all those things working in a solid fashion, you have it at tip-top capacity, any process that you find yourself involved in any route that you're taking, that's putting you in a certain direction, moving you in a certain way, you know what I'm saying? If you have those things working in harmony, more times than not, you will reach the goal that you set out for yourself. Now, when you obtain the goal, you'll then have to realize or see if that's what you wanted all along, or is there something else that you were supposed to be going for. But you will achieve more times than not the goal you set initially if those 3 things are consistent within you. You know what I'm saying? If those 3 things are consistent. Because times change, bro. You gotta expect that. Shit, people will change on you too. You gotta expect that. Until you being solid within yourself, knowing what principles you stand on, you know what I'm saying? Knowing what you working toward, what you moving toward. Once you have identified that within you, then you'll be able to observe for those who are also solid within themselves, who holding it down no matter what, who standing on their principles. And then when you find that person, it's all good, y'all could build. But until then, expect things to change. Expect circumstances to change. Expect people to change. Expect it. Just remain you. Remain solid. Remain true. Don't change. Stay consistent. Stay consistent. But, you know, and then also, life being a process, there are going to be times where the process might change course. That don't mean you switched up. You just recognize that the goal you had in mind um, at one time wasn't the proper focus. You know, that shouldn't have been where you were focusing your energy. You know, if you understand better, you got to do better. You know, if you understand that your prior understanding is not what it is, not the type of time you should be on, it takes an intelligent person to realize that and then be able to make an adjustment, be able to adapt. You see what I'm saying? Because your motive, what's your aim is should never change, but your method or the plan can change as far as how you're going to achieve that aim. You know, you remain solid, but the movement or the method can change because things change. You know what I'm saying? You cannot employ the same methods to every situation and expect success because you got it in one instance. You know, it worked there, it happened there. I'm gonna just do the same thing. I should get the same results. Things are different, bro. Things change. You got to be able to adjust. You got to be able to adjust. If you can't adjust, you're just gonna fall off. It's the natural order of things, you know. Now you're gonna be panhandling for sympathy. You're trying to get people to feel you. You know what I'm saying? Feel your excuse as to why you couldn't continue. That's another thing too. Just because there's a setback don't mean you failed, like that you lost. You know what I'm saying? I think I mentioned this before. In my opinion, you only lose or you only are defeated if you accept the defeat. If you just agree to it, consent to it, and be like, yeah, that's it. I took an L. I can't come back from it. I'm through. That's it. If you that's you, then you are therefore defeated because you've accepted it. But if a setback occurs and you bounce back from that setback, did you take an L? Did you lose? Were you defeated? Because everybody suffers setbacks, man. Everybody will encounter undesirable situations and circumstances, bro. Everybody will. It's a matter of who has the strength to continue and push forward, to remain on the path that the process says you should be on, that you say you should be on, not nobody else. Don't let nobody else put you in the process that you don't want to be in. You choose the process. You know what I'm saying? You choose what process works for you. You can entertain suggestions as to how you should proceed within that process. That's another thing. Like, just because I give you advice doesn't mean you gotta follow it. You know what I'm saying? You could choose, you could consider it, acknowledge it, be like, yeah, I think about it, but you still decide what you do. Because don't come back to me and be like, you told me that. Nah, I gave you a suggestion. I put something on the table to give you a different perspective or entertain a different understanding. You know what I'm saying? And you choose whether you want to accept it or not. Now, if you choose no, then that's cool too. We still good. I still give you advice if you ask, instructions and all that kind of, you know what I'm saying? Anything you need, I'll still provide that. Just because you didn't take my advice don't mean that you know what I'm saying, you're dead to me. Like, man, because I don't know everything. But I can tell you how I see it, and you can either see it that way or not. So that being said, on the flip side, if somebody gives me a suggestion or advice, because I know what I want out of life, what I'm going for, what my goal is, my principles, I will hear your advice. I will listen to your advice. That doesn't mean I'm going to take your advice. You know what I'm saying? And that's to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody give you something to feed you something don't mean you got to eat it, you know, or digest it. You could taste it, you could sample it, you know? And if it tastes good, eat the whole meal. But if not, you know what I'm saying? Just leave it on the table. Leave it on the table, you know? Pro-choice, you know what I'm saying? Pro-choice all day. It's all up to you what you choose, what you decide. And not just like the abortion pro-choice. I mean, beyond, I'm talking about in every sense of the word. What you choose to do, that's your choice. That's not for me to be like, what you mean? You know, you choose to do that. That's on you. You know what you want. I admire that. You know, I'll be more inclined to want to share with you, to be around you, to build with you, if you know what you want, if you know what you stand on. Because you might stand on what I stand on. And if you standing on it, I'm gonna respect it. You know what I'm saying? Even in times where you don't stand on what I stand on. You know what I'm saying? Your 10 toes might be facing a different direction. Cool. At least you standing on them though. At least you standing on them. I'm gonna respect that. Cause I feel like right now, not just within our tribe, but just all over, as how I see it when I pay attention, um, people are going through identity crisis, man. Nobody has any loyalty or allegiance to anything um, beyond themselves. You see what I'm saying? People not only don't know how to identify, what to identify with, you know what I'm saying? They don't, from what I see, you know what I'm saying? People haven't even solidified who they are, you know what I'm saying? Within themselves. It's confusion. Anytime confusion is within situations, it's not always because of misunderstanding, you know, between the two people. It might be somebody that has something going on within themselves internally. And because they're confused within, that confusion is manifested. And it causes the situation to be confusing, you know? It causes the situation to be confusing. Because there are those people who do not seek to come to an understanding or a common ground. There are people out there like that who are setting out to have a misunderstanding. And in that case, you know what I'm saying? I don't care why you choose to misunderstand. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care to understand you no more. If that's what you want, you're not trying to come to a common ground. That's wasted energy. That's wasted breath. For what? They've already made it up in their mind that they want to have a misunderstanding. You're not going to be able to build anything. Because people are either in favor of building or destroying. They're either trying to build on positivity or destroy positivity. They're either trying to build on your process or the positive elements within your process, or they're trying to destroy the process. It's either or. It's either or. It's no in between, no black and white. I mean, no gray area. I mean, it's all black and white. It's either or. Can't have it both ways, you know? You can't be trying to destroy and build at the same time unless you're trying to build on what you destroyed. And in that case, one has to come before the other. You know what I'm saying? One has to come before the other. So you cannot be building in the process of destroying, bro. You can only build after you destroy. So therefore, it's black. Either you're trying to build or destroy, bro. It's one or the other. I want to be around queens that want to build. I want to be around individuals, positive energy, positive people that want to build. You see what I'm saying? So that was me sharing with you what was on the mental, another mental freestyle. I would advise you to like what you subscribe to, you know. So if you like, do subscribe too, you know. That would be my advice to you. And another thing too, this would be the last thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and slide. People, when it comes to the word love, like when people be like, I got love for you, I feel like we use that word way too loosely. I'm gonna say that for another time, man. I'll tell y'all about that later. That was me checking in on the soapbox again. You know what I'm saying? A little more food for thought. You know what I'm saying? So eat up. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you digested that. Let me know down below, man, what y'all think, bro. How y'all feel? If I'm hitting on anything, am I talking crazy? Do I look crazy? You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm doing good, I want to build on this. And all feedback is welcome. All criticism, hopefully constructive, is welcome. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Feel free. And hit the like button, subscribe, or hit the dislike button either way. But enjoy your night. Yeah, so you know, it's a more, it's a more, it's a more. And it don't stop, it don't slow, it don't cease to be. Just like how you gotta get yours. If you think I won't die behind my projects or lie you stuck, giving up, is you nuts? Until my last breath, I'm at it, everlasting. In mine I trust. Indeed, yes indeed. Patience isn't a virtue if it hurts you, so why hesitate to make it happen however you trap it?